Hello, my name is Mina Misak, and today I'm going to be talking about the conflict of life, which is adopted from the narrative Call Me Bless Me Ultima by Rodolfo Anaya. So to start with, I'm going to go over what the book is talking about, and we're going to go through the summary throughout the themes of the book. So the book talks about a 6-year-old boy named Antonio who is born with a mom who wants him to be a farmer or a priest, and then a dad who wants him to be like a vaquero or more like a cowboy, like have a adventurous lifestyle. So throughout this book, that kid Antonio faces a lot of struggles. Some of these struggles start by the psychological cultural conflict. This kid grows up having to meet the expectations of his parents for him as a child, and of course, since one parent wants something and the other parent wants another thing that's completely opposite of that, the kid is growing up to be lost in the middle, not knowing what to do. Second thing that this kid deals with is growing up. This kid can't find himself yet. He is still trying to fulfill the dream that his parents have dreamed for him. He's not designing his own life, but rather he's following the path that his parents want him to follow. And this kid does not know his destiny except when he's introduced to um, Ultima, who is more like a nurse sort of thing, a lady that prays and uses herbs to make medicine and cure people. And then this book also talks about knowledge. And then in this knowledge here, cause like she's making medicine and she's curing people through medicine and prayer. So this is the medicine part. The medicine is the knowledge that the kid gets introduced to. And then Ultima explains to Antonio that she looked at his destiny and he's destined to be a man of learning, which is a teacher. Of course, that relates to all our lives. We all grow up to have parents that want us to fulfill their what they have planned for us, and we always have struggles growing up, not knowing what to do, just because it's a normal phase. We're humans. And then, of course, the knowledge part. Why is this book banned? Well, a lot of people have agreed that this book includes anti-Catholic point of view and explicit language and sexually explicit scenes. Oh well. So let's go through these and discuss what each one is. So anti-Catholicism. The example that was shown of why this book was used, like considered anti-Catholic, was one of the quotes was, "God was not always forgiven. He made laws to follow, and if you broke them, you were punished. But the Virgin always forgave." Here, this is 6-year-old Antonio, 6-year-old, who's not even fully mature yet, talking about how he has more love for the Virgin Mary because she's always forgiven. She's not the one that puts down the commandments. She's not the one that makes rules that we have to follow. But rather, she's the lady that's always forgiven, interceding, and like always helping people out. Which is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's not anti-Catholic. The kid is 6-year-old. So if for anything, we can explain to our kids why this is wrong. So this is for their knowledge, for their prosperous. They can prosper and know more that way. We shouldn't ban it. It's nothing wrong with that. Then explicit language and profanity and sexual explicit scenes. Let me talk to you guys about this. So, explicit language examples. Tell me about the war. Their dad asked. It was alright. Lean shrugged. Like hell. Gene scowled. Well, here the dad is talking to his sons who just returned from war. Of course, if somebody returned from war, they're definitely it's very it makes absolute sense that they've been affected by war. This is why their language has been explicit like that. It's been polluted like that. War is not the best place. They weren't on vacation. They were there fighting. They were seeing people dying every day. All that. War has changed them. And again, it goes on. The same exact kids. The brothers of Antonio or the sons of his dad. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit, Gene spit. He knows damn well Mama would never move. Well, of course, again here, they're talking about their, like, they're talking about how, like, they don't want to move with their parents or whatever, but they're using explicit language just cause that's what they've been polluted with due to everything that they've went through. And then the sexually explicit scene, oh, very sexually explicit, was one example was when Antonio, the 6-year-old boy, was describing a woman, and he described her as a young woman who laughed gaily. She bowed, and the soft flesh of her breasts hung loose and curved like cow udders. The water wet her blouse, and the thin cotton fabric clung around the curve of her breasts. Really, like, this is just a man describing how a woman is. If we're talking about sexually explicit, our kids are being exposed to sexually explicit stuff every day in every hour of their lives, throughout internet, throughout everything. So we can explain to our kids why this is happening. It's just common sense. This is why all it's happening. Even like the brother, even the mom and dad have agreed that their sons were war sick. They've been affected by war. Should it be banned or not? Well, the goal of the novel is to promote awareness of medicine, mention struggle of growing up someone's expectation, explain the conflict of growing within two different cultures, and discuss moral faith. This is goals of it. Why is it challenged? It's because it has that profanity and the sexually explicit scenes. But again, we already know the reason behind this. The war had changed them, as the mom has mentioned. Well, are we saying it's anti-Catholic because it promotes book knowledge than just the blind relies on faith? Well, no, because we send our kids to school because that's where they gotta get their knowledge. It's not just about faith. Banning the book or not? Well, Rachel Jolly, who is a journalist in the LA Times, has said, ban a book or play if you worry that by talking an idea or a principle that discussion will somehow harm society. If you don't worry about your values, principles, or laws being discussed since you are perfectly willing and able to defend them, then there is no need to work of an art, book, or play to be censored. Simply what she's saying is, you can explain to your kid why this is wrong. You can tell them why this is not right, why this is not acceptable, which promotes more knowledge for them. It helps them grow even more. Maybe it's not for everybody. Mehta, who's a journalist in an English magazine called Index, has said that the Department of Education in California has agreed the appropriate age to read this book is from 9th to 12th grade. Well, there you go. Appropriate age, we gotta explain to our kids why everything's wrong. That's all. Thank you.